Hey guys, so we're back with the 90-day update on my hair growth journey. And, today we're going to talk about some of the possible side effects that you might have using some of the products that I use. And again, recap, I'm using minoxidil, I'm using red cap, and I'm using some natural DHT blockers. So I'm not using finasteride, but it's just some natural DHT blockers, and hopefully they'll do the same thing. But if you haven't seen my other videos and you just want to skip to the update, I'll leave a link in the description for that. But if you haven't seen the other videos or you wanted a recap, you could watch them all over again. So check out the link. Hey guys, so this is day one of my hair growth journey, and what I got was I got some natural DHT blocker. It's saw palmetto gummies. I got some minoxidil that I'm going to start using. And I got a red laser cap. So we'll see how it goes. I've actually had some transplants done a long time ago, and so what you see here is probably just the transplanted one. There's nothing that's going to continue to fall out. These are the transplants. So, but I'm hoping it'll grow fuller and maybe even grow some extra hair in addition to that. So we'll take a look at what it does. And we'll see what these three items do for me. We'll come back in 30 days and see what it looks like. But I'm going to shave my head pretty thin so that, when I apply the minoxidil, it'll be nice and even. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so if you want to track my progress, subscribe and follow me along to see how well this disaster grows. As I mentioned, I've been trying to wear this once to twice a day. On the weekends, I try to do it twice because I'm available, but on the weekdays, I can only do it once after work. I've been applying the minoxidil twice a day, once in the morning after I shower, and then again before I go to sleep at night. So I try to do it twice. It's a 30-day supply, and it's pretty empty right now. There's very little left. So, it is pretty much a 30-day supply if you do, 2 applications, a little bit on the thin side, because I only need it on top. I don't need, everywhere. I need the top and, the back of my head. So I've been trying to do that twice a day. And of course, 2 gummies. So after 30 days, I'm going to say I don't really notice too much of a difference. I mean, it's only 30 days. I mean, I'm not expecting miracles after just 30 days. And I think around the 60, 90, well, probably closer to the 90-day mark is when you'll probably start to see differences. But so for this, there's still some left. Let me show you how much I do a day. Just about that much. And you can see the way it goes on. Just kind of, that's it. That's all I add. And I do that twice a day. We'll see how that goes. But you notice I did cut my hair like I mentioned that I would. I did cut it thinner so that it's easier to apply the minoxidil. That it's not just on my hair, it's on my scalp. And, some of it did grow back. But that's the way it's looking. So again, I don't think there's any significant changes. If there's a difference, it's not significant after 30 days. But, that's just the 30-day update I wanted to give you guys, and, how much hair, it is growing back. Of course, this is not growing from the beginning. If you look at the previous video, you'll see, I did have some fuzz up there, and I still have some fuzz up there. Okay, so we'll be back in 60 days to see how this goes. Hopefully we'll see you back then. Okay, so this is the 60-day update. You can see my hair, and I think there is a little bit of improvement. Let me turn around and let you look at the back. But, it's not day and night. It's just maybe a little bit of improvement. I think you know, the hair looks a little bit more full. You know, I still look bald, but the hair itself looks a little bit more full. Let me get you a little bit up closer. And, you know, you could compare this video with the previous videos of, you know, what my hair looked like on day 0 and on day 30. You know, at this rate, maybe day 90 might be something that would be more significant, I hope. But, you know, we'll see. But again, I've been using those 3 things. I've been using the minoxidil twice a day, once in the morning and, you know, once in the evening before I go to sleep. The red cap, I try to do at least once a day. You know, on the weekends I could do twice sometimes, but on the weekdays I can only do it in the evenings when I come home. Um, I don't want to be wearing it, you know, 24/7 or anything like that. But the saw palmetto supplements I've been taking twice a day, once in the morning and also once in the evening. But you know, we'll see. We'll come back in another 30 days, day 90, and see what it looks like. See you guys then. All right, guys, so this is the way it looks after 90 days, and I did cut my hair because it was getting long. Believe it or not, even when you don't have hair, it can get a little long. So it may look a little bit different, but you know, you could kind of see, you know, it, like I said, maybe a little bit of difference, maybe a little bit of gain. Not a big difference from, let's say, day 60, but maybe from day 1. I think it does look a little bit fuller. If you look, you know, there just seems to be a little bit more darkness, even though it's shorter than I had it from day 1, because again, I cut it recently because it was getting a little bit long. But let's take a look at it. All right, so that's the way it's looking right now, but I did want to talk about some potential side effects. And at first, when I started to feel dizziness, I didn't think it was related to the minoxidil at all. And now I think it actually is related. So I thought it was more coincidence and maybe I just wasn't feeling well, but I did get dizziness after using the product, and especially after I reapply it and I lay down to sleep when I apply it at night, and then I get up and then I get a little dizzy, or I'm moving around the bed and I get a little dizzy. And again, I thought I might have been sick or something, but I think it actually is the minoxidil. And I did some research, and it turns out there are a small percentage of people, I think 10% or so, that do get dizzy using this product. So I'm not sure if it's worth even continuing if it's going to get me dizzy, because it's not like it's giving me a ton of hair or anything like that. I just wanted to test this thing out just to see how well it works. But, you know, like I said, I feel like there's some marginal changes, but it's only been 90 days. So it's not like, you know, I've been doing this for a year or anything like that. Another thing is with the gummies that I've been taking, the saw palmetto gummies. I don't know if it's the saw palmetto and the biotin that's in the gummies or the gummy itself, but I do feel like it gets me a little gassy. So sometimes, you know, if I'm eating certain foods that day, that gummy actually makes me a little bit extra gassy. You know, so acid reflux. Uh, could be coincidence, I don't know, but I don't feel like it is, because you know, I feel like, let's say my acid reflux is like this level, and then I take the gummy and it's just a little bit more. So just something to think about when you do use these products, that you know, sometimes there can be some side effects. And I don't know if I'll continue. I've been using the minoxidil foam very sparingly. You know, I don't waste a lot because I only need it on the top part of my head. Um, I'm going to use the product to the end, which will probably last me to what's that? It's going to be 120 days, because I bought the two packs of the saw palmetto gummy DHT blocker. So that's really 4 months, not 3. So I'm probably going to do this for 4 months, and unless I see something drastic and wonderful, I'm probably going to stop. I don't know, being bald's not that bad. I just kind of wanted to do some experiments and maybe show you guys some, results that aren't from somebody who's trying to sell you something. All right. So this is what it's looking like, and you can see I'm going to have some pictures at the end of this video. We'll see you guys in 30 days.